Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5. Folks, today we have got Iowa short track in the Xfinity Series. We're currently in 14th place in the standings. We could get in on points, but I don't think it's going to happen with this 3-star car. But we do have to get another top 25 for a big payout of $53,820, which is more than the total purse of $52,000 that is available to the winner at the Iowa short track. So let's get out there and work towards that top 25 finish so we can get a lot more money for our truck team. Well, it took me one lap to achieve the sponsorship bonus, so that felt pretty good. And you know, we skipped qualifying, so we're gonna get right out to this race. And we've got 125 laps, so it should be interesting. Should be a good time, I think. Matt Mills, he is our friend, and he will race us cleanly. Mike Lynette likes us as well, and Justin Haley is the pole winner. In the last race, we were able to get around him, and so it's kind of interesting to see him up on the pole here at the short track. We're starting dead last in this one, but as you guys know, we have a lot of friends here, which just changes the way racing goes for us, and we don't have to deal so much with the secondary issue while running this track that we do in the truck series, which is trying to get around the rivals at the right time so they don't absolutely destroy us. We have plenty of laps to go. Let's go ahead and settle in a bit.
Still there.
As we begin the process of figuring out where we can do better in the turns to get around some of these drivers. There's the boss slowing down a lot. We gave him way too much of a bump there. That's going to affect things, I'm sure, and I apologize for that from him. I'm going to have to maybe run middle of the track and see if I can do the work here. Was it in Kentucky where we ran middle track and it worked out very well for us? This might be another one. I'm not sure. But we got around a couple more drivers. Got Kobe Howard in front of us. We've worked with him at a couple of tracks now.
Careful, still there.
So far, so good. As we only bumped Mike Harmon.
Still there.
He slowed up quite a bit more than we do going into the turn. It was Baccarella kind of doing the same thing. We have a lot more speed going through these turns. But now we're up 6 spots and just 5 spots out of our goal position with a big pack of 6 cars right in front of us. Got around Cesar Baccarella there. We set our sights on Jesse Little. I do enjoy Iowa. It's a nice track. It's wide. And for a mile-around track, it's not very slow.
Stay on the bottom here. You got room.
We'll have to see how the tires hold up on this one. How many laps do we have left? 31 in the tank, so coming around to, I don't know, lap number 5, I guess it is. So we get, 36 maybe laps in, 35, 36 laps in the tank. That'll give us a 3 pit stop race. We'll have to see how many of those pit stops come at green flag, as we've now caught up with the next group of victims. Get on the inside of Earnhardt here.
Careful, still there. Got a car
Put
high
on the
now.
brakes. As we catch up behind Chad Fincham, making quick work of David Starr and Jeffrey Earnhardt. Earnhardt usually a bit faster, at least on this game, than he was there. We'll see how that works out for him as the race continues on, and we are now within the top 25. We got a car on the track low that appears to have brought out the caution. Who was that? I do not know who that was. Is nobody okay, no one's pitting. That's awesome. You know what? Actually, we are going to pit. Hold on, pit. Let's do this. Yeah, we're going to pit. Jeremy Clements out of the race. We dropped back 11 positions, but I feel like we have, you know, a lot better tires, and I put some tape on the grill. They're all driving away like they are because at the end, turns out, and I was told this by one of the subscribers, thank you for that, that when there's contact on a caution after the flag flies, it makes your restart really slow. So that's why they all jumped way out like that on us. No big deal, as we've caught right back up to them. But also a little annoying. I'm going to be honest, a bit annoying that happens. We had no control over it. Everyone hit their brakes, and then the caution came out. We barely bumped into somebody. I can deal with that as long as it doesn't affect my relationship with the driver that we barely tapped, having no control over it. Back up to 32nd already. Car feels great. Track feels great. As we are already 12 laps into this race. Get on the brakes pretty hard there to avoid running into Baccarella. It wasn't actually that hard. It was probably about a third, but harder than we normally do.
Careful, still there. All right.
There we go. Big chunk of drivers we just drove away from, partially because we're on much fresher tires. Even though their tires were in the 80s, we still have fresher equipment, and we're just cruising right now. This is potentially a top 15 car. The way it feels right now is we're already back up in the top 25, so I'm going to touch the apron a little there. Not really what I wanted to do as I get into the side of Josh Williams. But those types of things, you know, they happen.
That was a great lap.
Put down a 24.7, which we put down to 24.79 the very first lap we did when we came out. We really feel good here at Iowa, and I enjoy driving this track. It'd be cool to see the Cup Series out here. It'd be very cool, actually.
Got a car high now. Clear high, clear high.
Up in 22nd, and I'm starting to 24.6 that time. I'm starting to wonder where the limit's going to come. We've got David Starr here. We made quick work of him earlier, and he was in mid-20s at the time. Now he's up in the high 20s. We're going to dip down on the inside and put it down. Jeff Green on his outside as they battled it out. We made it 3 wide there.
All clear.
Brandon Jones wow, I actually really did a poor job there. Brandon Jones not usually a car this far back, must be having some troubles today. We are definitely not the car that's having troubles, though. Look, as we are just driving up through the pack. Granted, eventually it'll stall out completely, but I don't think it's going to happen with Austin Hill and Riley Herbst. I think we're going to get around both of these cars and continue our march. Top 15 for sure. I feel pretty confident that we can hit a top 15. I'm not sure if we could do a top 10, but it would be nice. It'd be nice. I should compare. I don't remember what we got the last time. I should have looked. What we had the last time at this track.
Stay low. Clear high, bud.
Because we've already run here once this year. This is our second race at Iowa in the Xfinity Series, which is cool. That's fine. Got a bit of a gap between us and the cars in front of us. Let's keep an eye on the relative and see how. But yeah, we're we're gaining on them, folks. We're gaining on them. Josh Balicki makes a quick dart to the inside to get around Ryan Sieg. Will it pay off? I don't know. They're side by side going down the front stretch as we have reeled them into within 1 second. It is going quite well, as now we're about a half second off of Ryan Sieg. Coming out of 2, we have caught 15th place. Balicki did get that pass done on the inside, so that's pretty nice for him. Looks like we may have lost a little bit of tire there. I put it down, and we ended up having a little bit of a run up. as we're going to battle it out with Blicky. And that, or not Blicky, Sieg. And that's going to happen. I mean, we're not dealing with the cars in the mid-20s anymore.
Stay low.
Oh, but he goes to middle track with ease there. We did get around him pretty nicely. Timmy Hill is going to battle it out with Josh Bilicki now, as Bilicki's kind of doing the same thing we are, making a mad dash up towards the front. And Timmy Hill didn't even have an opportunity to really spend any time next to him, as we'll clear him going into 3 and 4. Ooh, I turned into that way wrong. But we're able to get on the gas a bit earlier, hang on to it. He had a little contact with our right rear. No big deal, as we have secured 14th place at this point.
All right, you're clear.
Start to work on Bilicki, because let's be honest, we should be able to get around him as well. That Insurance King number 99, we're going to kind of hang on behind him for a second, because I tapped the brakes and got a little loose. Had to fix it. But now I have an opportunity here to kind of settle in a little bit more. We've been really grinding out the position since we pit under that caution. Again, part of the reason why we're faster than these drivers has a lot more to do with the fact that we have fresh tires compared to them, which are about to kind of even out. So having the opportunity to pass some of these cars, especially like Noah Gragson up there, are going to be a lot more difficult than what we've been able to accomplish so far. So we get around on the inside of Bilicki and drive off a 2. Great amount of speed there. Now we do. We're going to set our sights on Noah Gragson. Can we get there? I don't know. Under 100 laps left in this one, as we are slowly reeling in Noah Gragson. That, again, it's got a ton to do with the fact our tires are 55%. That means their tires are probably in the 30s or 20s at this point. Or we've burned the crap out of our tires. That's always a possibility. I have not given any leniency on this car driving around the track today. It's been full bore. Let's get these passes done, as we're looking at passing the boss Mike Harmon in just a little bit. We'll have to see, especially once people pit. We won't pit right away. We don't have to pit right away, so we'll take what we can. Will this be a situation where we pit for tires before we run out of gas? I don't know. Or will there be another caution due to somebody having a tire failure? And that gives us an opportunity to pit under caution again. Unlike Dirt to Daytona, you don't really get the big benefits that you did there. You win races playing the pit game, the strategy game, where you would not pit when everyone else does, and then caution would come out and you would pit under caution and you'd have everyone a lap down. That just does not happen in this game, which is accurate. It's fine. That's how it should be. But I just note that for all of you who have been here since the beginning and went through the Dirt to Daytona series with us, that's a big difference in the game. Yeah, their pit strategies are way more intelligent, which is good. We are slowly gaining on Noah Gragson, but I think that he might be the limit. Now, that's not to say a caution comes out at some point where I'll stack back up that we can't get a handful more positions and potentially get a top 10 out of this. Now that we're so far ahead of top 25 and our car is so much faster than a top 25 car, I have my sights set on a top 10. Starting to get into lap traffic, as you know from the last race at Eldora in the trucks. Lap traffic can make a whole race for us, as it looks like, I think that was Baccarella, and he kind of held up Noah Gragson just a little bit going out of turn number 4, so that's potentially going to help us as we go into turn 1 and see about shaving off a tenth or so coming out. And there you see it. We do shave off that tenth of a second. Got a couple tenths actually on Daniel Hemrick, who appears to be smoking or have had some smoke in the car, as you saw it on the track, and then all of a sudden you see Daniel Hemrick only 1.8 seconds and dropping fast. So You can only assume up there that there was some issues with lap traffic that have put him in this position to be reachable by us for that 11th position once we were able to catch him and Noah Gragson. Now, we haven't really gained on Noah Gragson since we gained that 10th. In fact, we've lost that 10th already again, but you never know. You know, you never know what we can do before they all start to pit. And, in fact, we were one of the only cars to pit. In fact, I think we were the only car to pit. So where we have 12 left in the tank, I think in about 7 laps you're going to see them pit. And that could put us in a little bit of a better spot. I don't know. We might pit with them. I'm not quite sure what we're going to do yet. Because right now we can go to 78 left, 79. We'll have to see how that goes. Noah Gragson getting caught up behind Kobe Howard. And now we're within a second of him. We've got cars getting on pit road already. We are absolutely staying out right now. So you're going to see us gain some positions for sure. And on a short track like this, do we get them a lap down is the question. It could happen. And if it does, sorry, Kobe, and there's a caution that comes out, that could be absolutely huge for us.
Stay low. All right, you're clear there.
Got to focus up a little bit here. But yeah, am I putting these cars a lap down that are coming off a pit road right now? And if the caution comes out, how many of them would be trapped a lap down as we're sitting in the top 5? After I said everything I said, this is one of those situations where it could work out for us. Quite a bit, actually. We'll see how it turns out, though. All these cars are quite a bit faster as well. And we are in first place, so we'll at least get points for leading a lap without it being stage racing. We are about to get around Ryan Sieg and put him at least a lap down, maybe 2, I'm not quite sure. But there's the difference in speed as he's actually going to drive away. And on fresh stuff, we were faster than him, with him being the way that he was. Yeah, look at that. We are putting everybody a lap down right now. Big deal for us. If that caution comes out, we would be in an awesome place. But that caution has to come out, and I don't think it's going to.
That car ahead of you is pitting.
Jesse Little about to pit, and he's about to be a lap down all on his own. We are within 20% on tires. We've got 7 left in the 6 at the line, left in the tank. And you start to wonder, can we maybe have a caution come out in the next 6 laps? That would put us in an amazing position to win this race. Not sure. I'm not sure. We're keeping an eye on both the tire wear and the laps as they tick off. We'll be pitting with 80 to go to ensure we get on pit road with fuel. But we're starting to pass some of these lap cars. I swear that I fixed Chase Briscoe's car. And there he is. Still running that other paint scheme. Oh well. Michael Annette trying to get his lap back right now. I think that's what he's doing. Oop, I didn't check. Hold on. Yeah, Michael Annette and Chase Briscoe back on the lead lap as we continue to push it to get through these next 4.5 laps or so, 3 laps. Even with worn tires, badly worn tires, we are still faster than Jeffrey Earnhardt. That's crazy. Not having a good race for him on the short track. Must not have a great short track program.
You're clear there.
Just keeping an eye on the lap counter for our estimate here. Whoop, didn't mean to bring it down. Not time yet.
You're low on fuel, bud.
We'll bring it around, and we're going to pit this next time around. There are 80 left in the race, so we'll be pitting, crossing the line on pit road with 79 laps left. Here we go. Braking, bring it down.
Watch your speed, please.
We got it. We got it at 40. All right.
You're clear of pit road.
Back on the track in the top 10 for now. Jumped back up on the track a little early, but whatever. 35 in the tank. And actually, we're in the top 10. In good position in the top 10. We've got a decent lead over Timmy Hill that I just squandered away right there. And now we actually, again, are sitting on 7-lap newer tires. Can we catch Noah Gregson? Is 7 laps a big deal? I don't know. 7 to 10 lap newer tires, I should say. Harrison Burton, one of the usual leaders. He's likely going to catch and pass us, I would feel. I'm not sure, but I feel like that's what would happen. And I got to get back into a groove. I somehow lost it on pit road. I lost my groove. We'll get there. It'll all be fine. Oh yeah, here comes Briscoe.
Got one peeking inside.
And that's to lap us, I think. Yeah, it is.
Stay high up here.
Briscoe is driving Gary Norton's next season paint scheme.
All right, you're clear.
We're gonna battle as hard as we can. He's lapped the top 10. That's impressive. But that happens with long green flag runs like this.
Stay on the bottom.
We haven't actually had a speed up yet, so we should probably do that now and just kind of run this second fuel stage out. Fuel run out. So let's go ahead and run that out, and we'll be back on the mic when we're pitting for what should potentially be the last time, actually.
Hold that line, John. Inside.
Oh, wow. Caution comes out right at the right time as we stayed on the lead lap. That is huge for us. We are absolutely going to pit. There's no reason not to. And it looks like it was Anthony Alfredo that lost it on the track. We couldn't drop back any more than we already had, so we might as well pit. We actually picked up 2 spots there due to the Alfredo crash.
Ready. Inside.
So now we actually are we have way more laps under our belt than the other drivers.
Hold your line, got one
And
inside.
with that, we are going to speed things back up, but we're actually going to come back when they start to pit, not when we pit. So that's when we'll be back on the mic with you guys.
out.
All right. That was interesting. We're going to pit again. We can only go back so far. Brandon Brown, he actually drove his way up around a bunch of us, which is crazy. I mean, he came up with a head of steam that was absolutely nuts. Oh, no, it looks like it's our teammate that was in the issue, which I think he was running in the back anyway. Joe Nemechek, 2 laps down. So Anthony Alfredo out of the race. We're pit. We pit. We come out in the same position. Some drivers that chose not to pit, that should affect them at this point. And they're going to have to pit. So that's interesting. And I think they were on a bit of a limit at that point with the pitting, with them needing to pit to not have to pit 2 more times. So that's weird that they chose not to pit there. We're going to jump to the outside of Noah Gregson, but we've got Allgaier right there. And I've got Briscoe on the outside running in that Gary Norton paint scheme. We battled pretty well and actually had driven away from Austin Cindric, so I feel like we can do that again. I just have to kind of get back to my line. Get us back up to 6th place. We're obviously driving well above where we should be simply because of fortunes. But we're able to hang out with these guys up here, so that's a big deal.
That was a great lap.
Ooh. I could split it. I could split this fuel run up. I don't know. If I do that, though, we risk the chance of being laps down when a caution comes out, so you kind of almost don't want to do that because then you're... We'll just do what everyone else does. It's probably the best thing I can do. Matt Mills has caught our bumper. I'm going to have to do whatever I can to be in a decent position to make it through this. He's going to pass us. That's okay. That's okay. I think he's on fresh tires as well, and anybody who's on fresh stuff is going to be quite a bit ahead of us. .49 left to go in the race. And we're going to go back to that speed up now until probably 25 to go. And we'll stick with it for the rest of the race at that point. We'll be back on the bike with 25 to go. Other caution comes out. I feel like I want to pit every time a caution comes out because we can only drop back a handful of spots, so we'll do that. We still technically do have to pit 1 time, though, so that's important to all of this. Top 4 or 5 drivers didn't pit, so they're technically not on as good a stuff, but they're also just generally have better equipment than we do. 4- and 5-star teams as we're with a 3-star team, so that's part of the problem here. We'll have to see how it goes. Ross Chastain on our inside. He will not be here next year. A number of these drivers won't be here next year. Again, if you want to see that roster, you can see it on the Discord through the custom paint schemes I put out. Kind of gives you an idea of who's going to be on the out here next season. We're trying to run on the outside, and it's actually working a bit for us now as we're about to get back into 8th place. Brandon Brown, just huge congratulations to him. He was nowhere in sight, and he drove his way back up to being the first car a lap down, and now he's sitting up here in 7th place, and he is battling it with a lot of these other drivers, so that's pretty impressive. Justin Haley led a number of laps in this race, and now he is sitting here on our outside in 9th place, trying to battle it out. Now he's in 8th, now 9th. We got Matt Mills on our inside. We could drop back to 10th in just a matter of moments, which we will. But we'll battle it out. We'll at least stay with these cars. That's kind of the most important thing we can do here is just stick with these cars.
Careful, still there.
37 to go. We're 2 laps away from the next caution being the last pit stop for everybody. I'd like it to run green for quite a while. I mean, we seem to be doing very well, and then all of a sudden, the last probably 20, 30 laps, we've had a couple cautions, and now we got 4 cars on pit road that are out of the race. So unfortunate days for every one of those teams as well, as we are near 35 to go, which is the window, the fuel window, the final fuel window. Do we save that much? I don't think so. We got 31 in the tank, so we're 5 laps short as it stands. And I knew it'd be close, but for us being a 3-star team, if we wanted any chance to stay up in this top 10 area, we have to pit every time. And now everyone's going to pit because we're right inside of that window. And with the caution laps, we should be good. I don't know. Would I be fine to do? Yes, I would be. Okay. Well, I'm going to put 4 tires on, so we'll do 1 can. See if that gives us anything. Nope. We stayed in the same spot, but that's okay. I do want to check my fuel just to make sure before we cross the line.
Green, green, green.
36 in the tank. Okay, so that did turn out right. I remember, I know it's not Dirt to Daytona, but I remember in Dirt to Daytona where that was messed up and ended up, yeah, that was stupid. Where I messed that up and I ended up in, it like gave me just the 1 can of fuel, period. Like it emptied my can or my tank out and only gave me 1 can of fuel, which was not good. Apparently that doesn't happen here, and that was kind of why I was iffy about doing that in the first place, but it worked out. We're just outside the top 10, though. We do not want to be there. Need to figure this out.
Careful, still there.
This isn't like Kentucky where we could arc it and get a nice spot. Was that? No, maybe that was New Hampshire. That was New Hampshire, wasn't it? I think we ran New Hampshire and Xfinity, and then we ran Eldora, and now we're running Iowa. Or did we run I don't know. You know, it's all a mishmash, pish-posh for me, but you know, at one point we ran kind of a diamond line where we ran in the middle and then would drive down to the line past the midway point of the turns. And that was how we got the drive off, because without having a powerful engine like these cars, they get a drive off the turns way better than us. So we had to do whatever we could do to put ourselves in a spot to be at the fastest that we could be at coming off of the turn. Which is kind of what we're doing right now with Brandon Brown.
Careful, still there.
Battling out for top 10, but also in the meantime, we have caught this other group, so it's kind of funny. I'm battling it out with him, but we're also catching the group in front of us. He has caught them. He goes to the inside, which is going to open the door for us, as Harrison Burton is there on our outside. And we actually ended up with a bit of a better run than he did through that. Can we kind of hang this here and get on the gas and get a run again? Kind of. Brandon Brown is poised for a top 5. I mean, that man is a driver on fire. Good for him, really. You don't see that a lot. And he just came out of nowhere, and he has continued to dominate whatever they did on that one of their pit stops, figured out an adjustment, and got them in a really good position here. We're in the top 10. Looks like Harrison Burton went high. We've gotten around Noah Gregson as well, but all of a sudden the group in front of us is driven away. Maybe we can outbrake them and catch right back up to them. And we kind of slid up the track a bit there. Bad angle for me. Let me see if I can delay my turn in a little bit and then get a good angle so that we, yeah, like that. See, that time we hit that turn about 5 miles an hour faster than we have previously, so that might be a big thing for me. Get a little bit of a later turn in. Get on the brakes. Get back on the gas. And honestly, again, about 5 miles an hour faster. Brandon Brown dropped way off all of a sudden. But I'm doing everything I can. I'm going to tear these tires off this car just to try to catch them, but doing that really messed me up. So never mind. That actually went very poorly. Just trying to do whatever I can to figure out how to get any amount of time on these cars, but I just don't think I can. I think we're in the spot that we can be in for the race. I drove it way bad angle of attack there. Very bad. As they're now over a second in front of us, we have a 1.3 second lead and losing it to Harrison Burton, who does have a much faster car than ours. So we just need to focus on hitting our marks to try to... Well, I mean, he can technically pass us. We still get a top 10. Top 10 is the goal. I mean, the first goal was a top 25, then was like, well, maybe we can hit the top 15 because of how good we are. Now we're sitting inside the top 10, and just getting into that top 10 finish is the goal for me, and I feel really good about it. He will catch us. He is driving way faster than Noah Gragson, but we are driving away from Noah Gragson. So that matters to me. Yeah, we're driving away from Noah Gragson, so even if Harrison Burton gets to us and passes us, I feel pretty confident. We've got 21 left in the race, and honestly, we're in a bit of a bubble here. We're destined to likely lose time and position to Noah Gragson. Maybe not, or not Noah Gragson, Harrison Burton, but it looks like he just messed up and went high there. So we're going to go ahead and speed this thing up until about 5 left to go, folks. Unless something happens in the interim, that's when we will be back on the mic for the last time. Caution comes out. What do we got? 56. Let's pit. Why not? We can only drop back to 13th, 14th, something like that. 13th. So we'll pit and we'll drive back up, see what we can do. Why not? I think that with the added tires, and we're going to stay on the mic now the rest of the race. I think with the added tires, we'll be in a really good spot to potentially get better than a top 10. Like get up into the top 8 or something. Who knows? We'll have to find out right now when we go into turn 1. See if I can do anything special. Go in a little deeper than hill, and that's going to open that door. So we're already almost in the 10th place. Harrison Burton, that was a nice little battle we had with him. I enjoyed it. We didn't just give it up to him. He got to us, he passed us, but we flipped to the inside, and we battled him real clean, too, that whole time. So we have fresh tires, and everyone else is in the 50s for tire wear, so we should absolutely be faster than a lot of these cars. And what you see right there with Matt Mills is somebody who isn't a rival. You know, all these drivers in Xfinity, none of them are rivals, and so they don't just cut off our nose. They leave the door open when we get to it, and that's really cool. But here we are, 8th place, so it was the right move to make late here, as we had our fastest lap ever. It was not too shabby. We're on Harrison Burton. I would like to get around him and Cindric, and I think we can. It's a matter of when. Got to set it up first. Well, Cindric I didn't have to set up. He went high. But I don't see Harrison Burton doing that. Unless he decides to here. Oh, he's going to open the door for me. He didn't go tight down, so we just took it. It's not going to be that easy, but at least we have the position on the inside now to go into 3 and 4 and potentially do what we need to do.
Still there.
Get on it. Can we get around Brandon Brown for 5th place, which would be awesome. Of course, after top 10, the next goal is top 5. And I don't know if we have what we need to be able to get there, but we're going to do our darndest to get up there and take it away. That's big money for us. Yeah, that helps out Mike Harmon Racing as well, which is the team we're racing for. But, and that's good. I'm really looking forward to next year. Wow, contact with the wall is going to hurt. I did cut off Harrison Burton to prevent some of the crap from happening, but I did that's the first time I've hit the wall all day long, and that was not good. That was not good at all. We did some, we did some side damage. I could feel it already. I gotta not let that be a stigma for me, and I gotta just drive this car
You're clear.
and hope that I can recover from what I just did without getting passed by these guys. That's really weird that I did that. All race I've done so well, and then I do a bonehead move like that. But that was a really good 1 and 2 as we're going to drive away and get a little bit of a breather between us and Burton. See if I can catch. I'm still working on Brandon Brown, and he's less than a second in front of us with 6 laps to go in the race. Definitely doing whatever I can to catch him. Justin Haley running that high line. That's not doing him any favors either. We could catch him as... Oh, there goes Brandon Brown taking the high line. I could see us catching a 10th or 2 coming out of 4 here. Oh, there's that 2 tenths. Exactly what I said. If he continues to run the high line, that could be huge for us, as he will continue to run the high line. How many laps will he do that for, as we are going to catch right up to him here. I did have to feather the gas a little bit. It's going to lose probably all the momentum I just had. And now he's going to go low because we're here. That makes sense. Looks like Ross Chastain there is going to be battling it out with Justin Haley. I was thinking JJ Yaley for some reason. It's weird. I'm messing myself up now. We had every opportunity to catch Brandon Brown. We still do. I just have to focus on my points. Hit the marks. Make the pass by the end of the race. Maybe. I don't know. We're down to 3 to go. We got a 10th back on him, but I don't know if it's enough. 2 tenths here. Oh, maybe. I'm going to focus for these last couple laps. Enjoy the sounds of NASCAR.
Stay with the line. White flag is in the air.
Nope. We got to him. He switched his line, and he was in front of us, so we couldn't get to him again, and we're not gonna... But still, 6th place. It's way above where we should have gotten. We beat some very good drivers out there. So we did a great job. I feel really good about the way that we finished this race out. Oh, I found out the speed rating. When you're running on hard mode, it's not going to put you in the hundreds. Every time we're in Legend, we're at 103, 104, 105s. Top 5 in this race. Michael Annett wins it. Justin Haley 2nd. Chase Briscoe 3rd. Ross Chastain 4th. Brandon Brown comes in 5th as we just on the outside of the top 5 looking in. Your DNF drivers for the race. Josh Balicki, Mike Harmon, the boss of our race team. Anthony Alfredo, Jeff Green, and Jeremy Clements. Lots of drivers out in this one. Fastest lap of the race, Justin Haley with a 23.891. Most laps led, Michael Annett with 52. On the move, of course, it was us moving up 30 positions. And tough break goes to Jeff Green. Started 8th, finished 2nd to last. We received our incentive contract, 53 grand. That's big. Tommy Joe Martins. Wow, another top 10. And the best news about that is we get to send him a compliment and improve our relationship. He was one of the few neutrals, and now he's content with us. Well, folks, our next race is still in the Xfinity Series, and I could not be more excited because it's at my home track of Road America Road Course. Very exciting. I've been here multiple times and do plan on taking a track car out there to mess around with my son at some point. I think he and I have a lot of fun doing that because we plan on building one together. Anyway, though, that is going to do it for this episode. I do want to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.